Hello there and welcome to this session where we are going to install PostgreSQL. So in this session we are going to install PostgreSQL. We are going to install a PostgreSQL server. And I'll be installing PGAdmin 4, which is one of the tools to connect to PostgreSQL, and I'll be installing client tools that you call as command line tools. So let's move ahead. So first we'll go to postgresql.org. And here we can find the download. So here you can see there are a list of different operating systems which is available. For this demo I'll be using Windows, and optionally you can try different operating systems. The installation steps are quite simple and clear. So here you can see we have different versions available for Postgres. So for this demo I'll be using version 12. And you can see different operating system years like Windows 2019, 2016, Windows 2012 R2. So these are different operating systems which you can see here. Also you can notice that till 2008 we had different versions available in 32-bit also, but for version 12 and version 11 we don't have any 32-bit installation. So keep in mind. So we can click here to download the installer. So let's go ahead with this. Now you'll notice that once we click that, we go to a different site, that is enterprisedb.com. So that is a different organization itself, and they manage PostgreSQL in Windows releases especially. So we can see Mac version, we can see Windows versions 86 or 64-bit installation. So since we have the latest one is 12.4, let's go ahead with this and click the download here. Okay, so now our download has started and it might take some time to complete, so I'll pause the video. So once we click this, okay, so it will require administrator rights, so press yes. Okay, so let's go ahead with the steps. For this demo I'm going to use C program files. This is the installation directory of the binaries and everything. You can change it if you want, and you can choose a different directory. For this demo I'm using the default location, so let's go ahead with this. And these are the components which are going to be installed, so you will see multiple. So we'll be using PostgreSQL and PGAdmin 4, which is a graphical tool to perform database administration, and the last one is the command line tools, so which will provide you pSQL and different command line tools as shown here. So let's go ahead next. For the data directory, it will ask you which location it should store the data, so we'll just go ahead with the default location provided. You can change it if you want. So this is the port number which is going to be installed. We press the next. Okay, so these are the collations it is showing. In SQL Word we call it collation or code page. This is the locale, which is like the language and different settings. I'm going with the local one, which is English. So this is the summary of installation. You can either keep in Notepad if you want to just keep it as a reference to see what path was installed and everything. I click next, and it will take some time to complete. I'll pause the video. So we can see it is quite close to complete, and let's wait for some time. It will initialize the database cluster as well, so it might take a few minutes. Okay, so it is installed now. We'll click finish. It will not ask for any reboot, so we can go ahead. Let's search for services, and we can see it will be installed. I installed Postgres 11 as well, so you can see that. So for this version, it is going to show you something like this. Go to properties, you will see automatic it is, and it is running as of now. And here is the place. So if I can show you, so here you can see that it runs with this account, which is network service account. If you want to change, you can try to create a service account here and apply that. Press OK. So it is running fine. The next one is to figure out where is our PG admin installed. Search for this. You will find something like this. You just click here. For the first time it might take a little time, and next time it will be quite quicker, and it will always appear in your browser. Okay, now it is opening. So first time when you open, it will ask for a master password, so you can provide that. This is not your server password, this is for PG admin itself. When you click here, then you will see two instances. Since we have Postgres 11 as well, it is asking for that or this instance. You click here. First time it will ask for password, and you can save the password as well. I entered the password, save password, okay. And we are now connected to the PostgreSQL instance. So here in this section, it will show you all the list of servers, objects we can browse, and on the right side you will see server sessions. So from this tab, when the dashboard tab is set, you will always see what are the transactions per second, what are the tuples per in, tuples out. So these are different requests, what is a block IO, and you can see it is moving. Along with that, you will see different processes like this process, this process. So these all different processes which are running here, and you can see the details about them as well. It is very much useful in your daily administration and monitoring, and I especially like the dashboard it has. Let's continue with searching some items. So you can search something like, for example, if I just look for BG writer, so you can filter it out as well. And here you can see different logs are there. So what is a log, what is target location? We'll go in details about all these items, prepared transactions, configuration. And if we go to configuration, you will see all the list of configuration what we have. I'll close this. You can see all the configuration what we have. They are around 300 parameters what we have by default on the server, and we can see them with PG catalog as well. I'll come to that later. And if I click to properties, for this instance it will show you different properties. What is the name of instance, what is type, you can see what is the version of this, and what is the port number it is listening to. So all these features are visible here. Then we have SQL. If you select some item and if you want to see the SQL part of that, for example, if I just go and click any of the database, for example, this is the default database what we have here. If I click SQL, okay, I need to click it again. Okay, so if you click here, you will see what is the create database statement. It is useful to understand few things as well, because we are not going to create this database, it is a system database, and you need the drop statement. You can find that as well. Other one, it shows the statistics, it has some details. Then we have dependencies, if you have to understand some dependencies. So we'll come to that part later in pgadmin in more details in other sections. So these are the different views what we have. So you'll see the values changing, which catalog, what are the different extension. We'll talk about all of them in details later. If you click here, you'll see all the logins which are there on this server. So we can see all the default logins. One of them is the Postgres as well, and these are the permissions. If you right click this login, go to properties, you'll see what is general, definition, privileges, and it can log in super user. So all these privileges will come to those roles in later section. What is the membership is there, role membership is also possible. We have parameters, security, and so many different options for this user. Along with that, if you see the database, you have all these properties which I've shown you earlier. So it's quite useful tool, and it can help you in your day-to-day administration. If you see the objects, you can create new objects, new database, and it also has a query tool which you can try something like this. Right click the database, then you click query tool, and after that you will see a page something like this. So let's run a version command. And then you can press. So now you can run this portion, and you can see what is the version of this. I think it's quite useful, and it requires more details. I'll come to that in later section. So that's all for today. It was all about installing the PostgreSQL 12 on Windows Server. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll meet in later section.